So you don't really have, you got banned, yes. But the thing is, if an admin sees something you're doing is, I don't necessarily have a problem with admins, banning me initially thinking that I broke a rule when I didn't, and then I'm sending proof that I didn't break a rule, and then they unban me. You know what I mean?
Mm, I hear that.
Because sometimes there are misunderstandings. We gotta realize that there are misunderstandings. That's fair enough. If you had like a concluded case and the admin said no, you're not getting unbanned even though you clearly didn't break any rules, then we would have like a strong argument. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear
Do you
that.
think you have examples of that at all?
Nah, not really, man. Not.
Oh wait, this is fireworks. Awesome.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I was
What's up,
I
mate?
was getting worried you wouldn't show up. All right. So tell us, we're here trying to and roleplaying. We're trying to find. We're trying to address the problems between the communication between the administration team and the players. So do you have a story to share for us?
Yeah, basically they're just keeping me banned from the server, innit? And they're not even unbanning me. Like I keep making tickets, and they just lock the tickets without saying a word.
Okay. How about we start from the beginning? Tell us the full story and post any evidence that you have.
Well, the full story from what? How I got banned?
Well, yeah. When did you get banned the first time? Let's start with that.
Right, I found LSRP dead. Right, so on my main account, I just got hold of a gun and started shooting up everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, Rico told me about DMU. I joined DMU. I watched some videos of it, and I thought it was quite interesting. So I joined DMU, started spraying up a few gangs and that. I used to keep ban evading. I just can't even be asked to ban evade anymore because it's just so long.
When did you ban the wait last?
Ended up over a year ago.
Okay. That's fair enough. Okay.
That was the last time I played the server when I ban evaded. I was ban evading and when last time I played the server, but
okay.
I got a lot of other people got banned just because they were with me as well, and they're not getting unbanned either, so they're keeping them banned just because they're affiliated with me.
I see what you mean. Okay. Well then, man, I don't know what to tell you. That's. I mean, I can't influence LSRP at all. We're not related with LSRP. But what I can say is, I do believe it really seems unfair when people get punished differently for the same or even lesser crime. You know what I mean? It really does seem unfair. And what ends up happening is that people see that and they don't like it because it's uncertain, because it's difficult to tell what an admin will do. And when there's uncertainty, people don't feel like playing that game anymore. People want certainty. People want to know what kind of rules are, what kind of, Of course, in practice, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be without some kind of bias or something like that. But I feel like some kind of a system, being in place, that would benefit. That would benefit the community. That would make it seem more fair. It would give everybody a chance, no matter how many times they've messed up.
The probation scheme was such a shit thing. It was really bad.
Well, that's why they removed it. Yeah, they decided that.
I made mates with Oaks because of the probation scheme, and he told me that they told him that he wasn't allowed to speak and be on a personal level with any of the people on probation.
Wow.
He wasn't allowed to be mates with them or anything.
That sounds like literally treating people like God. There's a lot of arbitrary kind of requirements, in my opinion. Don't you think so?
Well, yeah, I agree, but currently we are on 2 strikes because we were too lenient on some rules. We are on 2 faction strikes because we're too lenient.
Yeah, tell me about faction strikes. I think it's the first time I'm hearing about faction strikes.
I don't know much about it, but we were too lenient towards new members. Like, we gave them too much freedom, and then we had to be more strict.
Okay, so we can learn from this as well. So it was problematic that you were lenient on new members, especially in a faction like SBI.
Yeah.
Okay, that's something to learn. Yeah.
That's SBI is not it's not like SSP. We don't go out on patrols and stuff. There's a lot of casework, a lot of case files, a lot of.
I see. Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Office RP, it's much more passive. We don't go out and stop people for traffic violations.
I see, but even in this environment, you still need to be strict. Why was
Yeah.
it problematic? Is it because an admin gave you a strike, or is it because it was something else?
No, someone. I think our first one was all members got this striked. Like, someone reported us once because there was a sort of like a fight between SSP and SBI,
Oh,
Investigation Bureau. But that's being resolved, so
all right.
we are on much better terms right now.
Okay, well, that's glad to hear. So we can still learn something from this specific cases, and what we can learn is that, even in tiny communities, it's very important to enforce, or at least a similar way. They should have some discussion, in my opinion. Absolutely, they should adapt to every situation, whichever way they see fit. But overall, I don't believe that letting them have all of the discussion and not having a structure in which how they're gonna do reports, in which how they're gonna because what ends up happening is that, yes, they do actually like jump into these huge situations which feature dozens of people, right? Dozens of people, and
Yeah.
they just ruin it all for everybody, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's actually a big issue. I appreciate you mentioning it. Have you gotten a chance to? Well, you are verified because you have verified, or you can only be verified to be able to join the interview room. But have you posted it as a suggestion? I'm wondering why people aren't using the suggestion part of the forum of the Discord that I have set up. Come up with some sort of a number of people involved in roleplay or something more specific. All right. You can't just say, "Hey, I'm just gonna, give them no." I don't know what I'm saying. I'm tired, to be honest. I've had a long day, but yeah, I do appreciate you coming here and raising the issue. And again, it brings up the topic that administrators are also people. Administrators have their own struggles, and this is one of those struggles. Common sense is not something easily defined, but people also have these struggles. Players, members of the community, they also have these struggles. When something isn't defined and they have to make their own discussion, people will judge them and they will decide that they will have made a mistake. So you've decided that an admin made a mistake even though they didn't break any regulations, But that being said, it was frustrating for you. And that's a problem. That's the problem that we're trying to prevent with Roleplay Union. We're trying to see if we can address the problem of, a game being frustrating. We want to just see if we can make a system where it's not frustrating. Make a system where administrators and players can be held accountable, but equally accountable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So would you say more regulations, more specific regulations, even if these regulations are, seemingly arbitrary? Do you think that would help?
In a way, yes. I would say. I mean, first the thing that has to be, which you already said in the stream the other week, is that there has to be more. Someone has to be there that is going to overwatch what the admins do. 'Cause then, if there's some hand above the admins, they have to be like, oh well, if I do this, is it going to be alright with the guy that's above me? And not
Oh
just
yeah,
like,
I know what you mean. So
Because-
what you're saying is, you don't think that some administrators have anybody like holding them accountable?
Yes. Well, I mean, there's people above, but I don't believe that the administrators are being highly overwatched on doing their job.
Mhm.
So, let's say an administrator can make a decision, and if you feel that the decision is bad, you can appeal it. But a lot of the times, maybe what can happen is that the person above is going to be like, well, he's an admin. He knows what to do, so he's just gonna vaguely look over the issue and just gonna say, well, the administrator did everything correctly because the administrator, got some form of training, and is somewhat more experienced in the rules than you are.
Okay. So yeah, we have addressed the fact that everybody should be held accountable. If they're not held accountable, then at some point they're gonna start, abusing their privileges. Because I mean, they can. I mean, I see the way rules work, right? The way rules work is that anybody can make a rule or a law. I can make a rule that you can't eat apples. There you go. I just made a rule. You cannot eat apples. is it gonna stop you from eating apples, right? I made a rule that you cannot. Okay, let's look at the rules I made in the Discord server. Actually, I think the first one was no discrimination, no toxic behavior, right? And we quite clearly had some toxic behavior in the Discord. So how did it happen? How did it happen even though I clearly made the rule? Well, you see, making a rule is just part of it. You also have to enforce that rule somehow, and it's the enforcement that gets complicated. If administrators have regulations, but nobody enforces these regulations, then what's stopping them from breaking those regulations? If nobody is watching them break those regulations, then what's stopping them from breaking them? LSRP does have a system for reporting administrators that may have violated rules. But, you know, not everybody is satisfied with it. Not everybody is happy with many of the outcomes that happen with it. They don't believe that everybody gets the same treatment. But we do agree that that's important, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, also what I believe may happen, you know, a lot of the times, is that the administrators are mostly handpicked by the management, right, or by someone that is hired. They get recommended, right, and then it looks bad on the community where an admin did something completely stupid, right? So the management is going to be like, oh, maybe the admin did something a bit wrong, but it's not something that major. So we're just gonna, just hide it under the carpet, not gonna like discuss it that much because it's gonna make us look like doo-doo heads.
Yeah, I know what you mean. What I actually did in my Discord server is when you get banned, first of all, you need to submit evidence when you ban somebody, and when they appeal, this evidence is presented to the, actually, you cannot review your own ban, right? Somebody else has to do it. And I'm going to enforce that on myself too. I'm going to get other administrators to, or the administrator in this case, to, check the appeals.
Well, hey there, you're still watching. I have made the rules on the Discord more strict due to the trolling that we received during last time. So if you are being excessively disruptive, you will have to receive a Discord ban and will then be forced to appeal via email. Otherwise, there are more defined punishments. That being said, everybody still has the ability to be unbanned. It might just take you a year to be unbanned if you're especially disruptive. We still want to give everybody the same treatment, and I believe that is justice. Justice is blind. Stay awesome.